gonna turn my music down, but I love dancing and having amazing energy. It's amazing to have this flipping great life that I am leading. I have more joy and happiness since I decided to get into the coaching world and helping you do what I've been doing for the last 25 years, which, as most of you will know, is investing in real estate. And it's a flipping great life. And I do have a program that I encourage any person to get into, because we all really should be investing in land. They're not making any more of it, people. Like, land is always going to have an amazing value. And yes, the market does fluctuate and go up and down, but I've been investing in real estate 25 years, and I have weathered every kind of market. I have actually made the most money in down times, in down markets, because of the buying opportunities there. And when you are doing this flipping business, you are adding so much value to the properties that you really build in. Not only do you build the house, but you build in a cushion, so that if the market does go down 20%, you are adding so much value to that property that you're probably still gonna make maybe even still 10%, or maybe you break even potentially. But I know from my experience doing this 25 years, I have never lost any money. So I think that's a pretty darn good record. And I sometimes haven't made any money. I worked for nothing, which really sucked, especially when my projects can be, 6 months to a year long. And that has happened to me. And I have navigated lots of mistakes that I've made along the way. And the idea is that you need to make mistakes to grow, to improve, to better yourself. If you're not making any mistakes, then you're not pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And this, I believe, is key to building a higher net worth, having an exceptional lifestyle, being able to go to the next level, whatever that is for you. And I pushed myself on every job. Every project I do gets a little bit bigger, and it gets a little bit, scarier for me. I am about to purchase something, almost a $4 million property. And yeah, I'm nervous, right? I am nervous. And I am going to put in over $1 million, most likely, into that renovation. And it'll be a $7.5 or over $7 million property when I'm done. Which is almost $2.5 million profit in a year, right? So about $1 million in and about $2 million out. That is very attractive to me, and I think that you would agree that's a pretty good return, right? But it's scary. Like, what happens if no one buys that house? Like, I think about that, but I know that I'm doing the right thing, I'm going the right direction, but every project I do, I'm pushing myself. And so if you are a real estate investor and you feel nervous and scared and uncomfortable, then just know that you're most likely going the right way, because this is where growth happens, where you can take your life to another level. And this is what I've been doing for 25 years. I don't know, I guess I'm just like a crazy, that's what you kind of need. When people say to you, hey, you're crazy to get into that business, and you think, okay, good, I'm going the right way, because you need to be a little crazy to do this to change your life in any way, really, you need a little bit of crazy in you just to push yourself to get to that next level. And I always say to my students that you really need to know why you want this. Why are you doing this? What is it for? Is it because you have a dream, a mission, some reason that you want to build your net worth so that you can do something, maybe give back with that money, or maybe you want to travel the world, or maybe you just want financial security for your kids? There has to be a pretty big why for you to get uncomfortable, right? And get out of your comfort zone, and to do something that takes a little bit of guts. And so if you feel that way and you're in my program, then good on you. You are going the right way. And I'm so pleased to help and guide you and mentor you. So that's my little intro blurb. I love speaking in front of an audience, and I just get inspired by helping and serving. And that's my goal, is to help and serve you as much as I possibly can. So when I'm preparing to speak with an audience, I am really working on my energy. I'm doing a lot of dancing. I'm playing music. I am getting down with it. I am having a lot of fun, and I want to bring that amazing energy to you when I am doing this, and when I want to share some wisdom with you, some of my knowledge, what I know, and what things have helped me in this world. So today, I want to chat with you about creating your dream team. And a mentor of mine, Kevin Harrington, he has talked a lot about his dream team, and it's really inspired me to use the same terminology and really also promote how important it is, because what your dream team are the people that surround you to make you successful in your well, it could be in your personal life or your business. I'm going to stick to the business world because that's what I'm talking about today. But it's really, really key to have a circle of amazing, not only amazing mentors, but coaches, amazing, and then when you go into whatever business you're in, you're most likely in real estate if you're here listening to me. So in the real estate world, you want to have those key people that are going to help you be successful. And in real estate flipping, I have to say probably the number one person or consultant, if you call them that, is your realtor. Okay, if you are your own realtor and you're an investor, then good on you, because you understand that having that realtor, the access that a realtor has to the listings, to the information, the public record of information, an understanding of how to research a property and see, what the market value most likely is. This is a really key person of influence in your sphere of your business. So what happened for me was I was not a realtor when I started flipping, and I was using other realtors, and I had some less than impressive representation. Let's just put it that way. I was frustrated a little bit. I was frustrated, and I wasn't really getting the support that I wanted. And probably back in 2000 so I started in 1995 flipping. And for those of you that have been to my webinar, you've heard my story. 1995, I started flipping, and so I was flipping until I probably started to, I probably decided about 2006. Actually, it's really weird, but I had twins in 2006. And so for whatever reason, I guess I thought that I was going to have extra time on my hands. It's so funny. I thought I was going to have extra time on my hands. So, hey, why don't I get my realtor license while I'm while I'm breastfeeding twins? That, because that's just, I'm not doing enough, apparently. Why don't I flip a property, breastfeed twins, look after my 3-year-old as well, and go to real estate school, because I can. So that's what I did. Pretty crazy. I went to real estate school. I got my realtor license in 6 months or 8 months. It was 8 months. I got it basically as fast as I possibly could. While I was flipping a property. Oh yeah, and I was also helping buyers and sellers. I was also helping. Yeah, I actually had, before I even got my license completed, I already had clients that I was helping with, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have my license really soon, so we'll start really soon. Crazy stuff. And I got my real estate license because that real estate person was not supporting me the way that I needed as a real estate investor flipper. And I am finding that it's a really interesting and common theme happening in my membership group, that I'm getting people that have been flipping or investing in real estate, and they got their real estate license, the same story as mine. They weren't satisfied with the representation they were getting. So I don't want to make this presentation about just going to get your real estate license, because that's not the point of this presentation. I'm talking today all about how important your dream team is. But I don't want you to undervalue that realtor and how important and how crucial they can really make or break your project. So I got my real estate license. So now I am now teaching a lot of realtors what they need to understand in order to best serve their investor clients when they're making offers, when they're writing offers and making conditions on offers, how they're looking at properties, how they're finding great properties and great opportunities, how they're doing some of this door knocking. So now I'm happy and excited that my program is actually evolving into I'd probably be evolving this whole platform that I have into a specialized course for realtors one day, probably one day soon, because this information is invaluable for your clients, realtors, if you're out there listening to me. So a lot of realtors in my course are just saying, wow, I've never heard of these clauses before. I have never heard of these conditions. And so it's really an amazing opportunity to learn. So after you have your realtor in line, the next, probably most important person that you need in your circle is your mortgage broker or a bank. Okay, you really need to align yourself with people who have great connections to money. And in my world, I don't qualify typically for the A banks, the big chartered banks. And mostly because I do a lot of things in my corporation, and my corporation just doesn't show, I just don't show a lot of income. So when you're an entrepreneur, this is a very common theme. So do not be dismayed by this. This is okay. You will have to pay more to borrow money, and that's okay. As long as you take that into consideration in your numbers when you're looking at a project or a property to invest in. You always have to think about all the costs before you ever put a pen to an offer. Okay, so you basically have to know what the end game is, and I always talk about the end game. You need to know what you're making on that project before you even offer on it. Okay, there's no guessing going on in my program. We are conservative, and we are as accurate and as detailed as we can be to make sure that you are not losing any capital. Okay, we cannot afford to lose our capital because we want to, make some money, obviously, and we want to go to the next level. We want to go to the next property and do a bigger project and make a better return. In my experience, I have found that when you scale to larger numbers, the profits also get on a percentage basis, they get better. It's just, I don't know, it just seems to be there seems to be more spread in the luxury market than there is where I started in the let's say $300,000 house is where I started. And now when I'm in the $1 million homes, there just seems to be much bigger opportunities. So mortgage broker, really key person. Definitely I have several. I like to talk to different people and see, they all have different lenders that they're working with. When it comes to private lending, they have their connections. Okay, so all their connections are going to be different. And so I am speaking right now. I'm actually looking to get a mortgage right now on a property, and I'm speaking to more than one mortgage broker. And they may not love that, but that's the way it is. They have different connections to different private money. So, it's not going to be apples to apples. It's going to be different offers happening. So I'm working on that currently, which is very exciting because I'm gonna mortgage a property and I'm gonna go buy a property. Anyway, then after that, you definitely want to have an amazing accountant. Okay, you need to have an accountant that understands real estate. Okay, it's not just anybody necessarily. You really need to understand what it is you're doing. I have calls with my accountant before I ever buy a property. I'm like, David, guess who? And he's like, oh, Tracy, yeah, what have you got for me today? What would you like me to figure out for you today? I'm like, okay, well, I have this property and I want to sever it, and I'm going to have two properties, and how do I so basically how do I structure that the best way for taxes? Okay, and how am I going to take that profit, and what does all that look like? And you also have to think about there's many taxes, right? There's municipal taxes, government taxes of several kinds, and then of course income tax, capital gains tax, all these different things. So you really have to work that out before you again ever put a pen to an offer. Okay, I hope this is helping you. So accountant, right? So first we had a realtor, then we have the mortgage broker, then we have an accountant, then you're going to have a lawyer. Okay, another really key person in your circle, in your dream team. I am not going to get to the entire dream team today. I'm already at 20 minutes. I don't want to go too much longer, but in the immediate circle, you can see before you ever make an offer, you need these people in your dream team, okay? And they need to be specialized in real estate. You don't want a lawyer that specializes in divorce. You need a lawyer that specializes in real estate. Okay, you need a tax accountant who also maybe doesn't specialize just in real estate, but they have a very good working understanding of the business and how you can set up your project so that you pay the minimum of tax. Okay, so after you have your realtor, basically your banker or your mortgage broker, your tax accountant and your lawyer, then you're going to get into the consultants that you're going to need. So there's a lot of discussions that are happening prior to an offer. Okay, I will also call up my architect, who's well, I have architects and I have architect technologists, and I also have designers. I'm a designer myself, but I do delegate a lot of tasks. I have to when you're scaling your business. So I will talk with my planner, architect, and I will discuss that project and that property with them prior to making an offer. And just see, you know, what's the zoning on this? Can I divide this land? Could I make this into several units? You're gonna basically go and figure out what's the highest and best use for that property. Is that property gonna be coming into a rezoning for some reason? Could it be a condo? Could you assemble some properties and make a bigger plot of land that a condo developer may buy? There's so many ways to look at things. So you really need to explore those ways with a planner, with your architect, and they will help guide you as well. Especially, you want to have someone that's knows the areas that you're looking at. You want to have an architect not from out of town, okay? You want to have an architect who's in the know. They also need to be specialized in what you're doing. You want to flip a house, okay? Find some architect or planner that understands how to flip this property, or they understand, you know, how to build this house, and they'll help you with that. And they'll also review the zoning, and you know what? It's an amazing thing when you have a planner or an architect, this is sort of the same entity to me, that has connections, not only with other consultants like engineers, appraisers, tree people, lawyers, okay? Lawyers for hearings for when you want to make an application to change zoning or something, but they also have amazing connections with the city that you're working in, the city planning department, the building department. They know people there because they go there every day. They have relationships and rapport built. This you can use, you basically can piggyback on their relationships. I can't stress this enough. And this is one of the reasons why when I offer to my members all of my consultants, trades, suppliers, I'm offering the same thing to my members when they come into my program. They can piggyback on me and all of my credibility and all of my experience and all of my relationships and rapport that I've built over the years. It's priceless. Okay, it's priceless. And working with government is challenging because they're civil servants. They don't have the entrepreneurial spirit. They are worker bees, and they just, you know, they don't get inspired much by their work. And so it's really important to have that key person of influence, your architect, who has a relationship with other consultants and the building department. It's just so much better than trying to go with someone who's unknown in your area. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I could talk probably, and I have talked for whole days and whole weekends. There's so much to share, and I really I look forward to sharing more with you. And I will continue on with the Dream Team next Thursday. I will also be speaking to you again about that. So this is part one. We'll call this part one, and there will be another part two for you next week. So I hope you've enjoyed this presentation and got some value out of what I shared today. And hopefully I taught you some new things that you didn't think of before, and it's going to help change your life and increase your net worth. So here we go off to building homes and building your net worth. I'm going to sign off. Tracy Fines, love you, and talk to you again soon. Bye.